Off-road vehicles shouldn't just take us down gravel driveways and dusty roads. They should take us to places that truly move us. If you yearn to conquer all the world's inhabitable and even uninhabitable land, just one set of keys can legitimately get you there. No, it's not Land Rover, because before you can conquer, you have to arrive, under your own power. Land Cruiser. Whether plotting a coup or satisfying the restless dreams of suburbia, the legendary Toyota has always left some big, filthy tracks for other four-wheelers to fill. Today's show is all Land Cruiser, inspired by co-host Johnny Miato's recent trip to Iceland. Together with me, Stace Ghost, Bid Leftnut is answering the question, what is Land Cruiser's secret of carrying people further for more than 70 years?
We're back because fugitive Johnny Miata was in Iceland. Johnny, how was
Stace,
it?
I went to Iceland. As it turns out, Land Cruisers in Iceland go together like peas and carrots. If you want to go on a really good road trip, go to Iceland.
Drive from here.
You don't necessarily want to drive from here. Maybe you take a plane because of the water and whatnot. But once you get there, the country of Iceland is such an amazing place, not only because it's got all these natural resources and waterfalls and glaciers and puffins and whatever.
Attractive women?
Yes, attractive people, but not too many of them, which is great. But we went and saw all the things. It was amazing. Again, glaciers and old volcanoes and all sorts of stuff. But the roads, the driving was fantastic. The ring road that goes all the way around the country is a 2-lane road, just a fantastic driving country.
Are the roads in bad shape? Are they like Scotland or what?
The roads were fine. As a matter of fact, I was one of the only people that chose not to get a 4-wheel drive vehicle because it was August and I didn't think it was going to snow. And it didn't, so that was nice.
Right.
So we were in a little Kia Ceed wagon, and it was just fine. But the thing is, not my Kia Ceed wagon, but what that wagon was surrounded by. Because as it turns out, Land Cruisers in Iceland go together like glaciers and volcanoes. The amount of Land Cruisers I wasn't prepared for. They're the best-selling SUV in the country. All of the rental car companies stock Land Cruisers, mostly Prados, which we'll get into the differences. And as a guy who owns a Land Cruiser and it's my favorite vehicle of all time, this was just an added bonus on an already amazing vacation. So, having immersed myself in Land Cruiser culture, I came back and I thought it would be a great episode if we talked all things Land Cruiser.
Excellent. So we're going to talk about Land Cruisers. We're going to predict some prices on Land Cruisers. I know that Johnny got his fantasy bids in. And throughout this episode, we're going to test Johnny's knowledge, and we've got some trivia questions that we're going to sprinkle throughout. So for every question he gets wrong, he has to send me $100.
Wow.
We're also going to quiz him on what some past Land Cruisers closed at, some recent auctions. We're going to see how dumb he really is.
Oh, I hope not.
So were these Land Cruisers called Iceland Cruisers?
Yes and no. There were definitely some. And I did a little research after the fact because some of these Land Cruisers, the later model vehicles like the J150, again, we'll get into that in a second, but late model Land Cruisers, the rental companies spec them out already lifted. Some of them already have snorkels on them. They're exactly the way I would have mine if...
I have a question.
Yes,
The snorkel is useless on most continents. Where on Iceland, other than driving into the ocean, would you need the snorkel?
So here's the thing about the snorkel, and full and fair disclosure, I own a snorkel. It's in my basement because I've never put it on. Yeah, I've never put it on my Land Cruiser because why on earth would I need a snorkel? And yet they're kind of cool.
It's always sunny in Philadelphia, so you would not need that.
That's very
snorkel.
true. The zombies you don't need snorkels to ford zombies. No, the snorkel, to be honest with you, is not actually for fording water. It's more for getting the cleaner air, is what I've been told, in the desert.
Oh.
Because as you're driving in dirty air and going into the engine compartment, you're better off if your air intake is way above. Can you see my hand? There's my hand. Hello. So, can it help you in a situation where you're up to the hood in water? Yeah, that too, if it's sealed correctly and somebody other than me installed it. But it's not necessarily for water. And let's be honest here, if you're putting the hood of your rental car underwater, you've probably got bigger problems than the air intake being high enough. Like, you're
Sure.
insane.
Sure, you're
But-
not getting that deposit back.
You're probably not getting that deposit back. But as it exists, it's still a pretty cool thing to see. And man, there's a ton of them. You can't swing a dead sheep without hitting a Land Cruiser in Iceland.
I think what I want to answer is, how is Land Cruiser Toyota's longest running nameplate? Land Cruiser is the longest running nameplate, but they're not all similar. They're just like, we call a lot of things Land Cruiser, right?
Yes, so that's a great point, and I think that's why it's Toyota's longest running nameplate. It's because they called everything a Land Cruiser. There are no less than 15 models that have had the Land Cruiser name on them since 1955.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, they're all very different. It's not just the evolution. I guess one of the ways I can equate it is Oldsmobile, that is no longer with us. But if you're a fan of American cars, you know that Oldsmobile put the Cutlass nameplate on everything. There was a Cutlass station wagon, a Cutlass convertible, a Cutlass 442, a Cutlass Salon.
Chicken Cutlass.
It was all just, and I think Toyota saw that and somehow decided to adopt that mentality, because all four-wheel drive, heavy duty, and eventually light duty Toyota SUVs, for the most part, got the Land Cruiser nameplate, especially when it was for the entire world. We can argue whether or not,
No argue.
well, we can't
No,
argue.
we don't have to
No,
fight.
I understood, but we can't actually argue. We know that Land Cruiser is the longest nameplate. It's not one type of vehicle. It's a whole host of vehicles that have the Land Cruiser name.
Basically one concept, though.
Yes.
Four-wheel drive, rugged-ish vehicle.
Yeah, I wouldn't even put the ish on the end of rugged. It's the vehicles that Toyota created to be the toughest, longest lasting vehicles they produce. They're simple.
Mm-hmm.
They are easy to maintain, right? That simplicity means if you're in the middle of nowhere, you can fix this thing with hand tools.
I
Now,
thought you were going to
that's
say
not-
hammer. I thought you were going to say hammer.
I mean, everything can be fixed with a hammer eventually, but it's not necessarily true of the later Land Cruisers as they got technical and more comfortable. They're still robust. They're still really well built, but that complexity started creeping in because that's what consumers wanted and still want.
Before we take your word on being a Land Cruiser expert, we have a Land Cruiser trivia quiz we need to give you.
This is where all my credibility just goes into the pooper.
We're going to benchmark John's Land Cruiser knowledge, and these are questions that I found on the internet, mostly Wikipedia, so some of them might be wrong. All right, so we're going to go through this rapid fire quiz, and I really mean rapid. John, you get 3 seconds to answer, or you're instantly wrong.
That's not a lot of seconds. Okay, I'm ready.
What year did the BJ prototype debut?
51.
Yes. Next question is, which mountain did the BJ famously climb?
Kilimanjaro. Fuji.
Fuji.
Darn it.
It made it to the 6th station.
That's a lot of stations.
It was the highest that any vehicle had climbed up until that point.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Fuji. In what year did the Toyota adopt the name Land Cruiser? 1954. 1955.
54. Very nice. All right, next question.
It's the 40 series. It's the Jeep looking one. The
Yes.
global icon, yeah.
Okay, which
the
model earned the
55.
name Iron Pig?
55.
Yes, 55. Why? Tell us about why it's an Iron Pig.
It is ugly. And I love it. Like, it's very time and place, but it's very Japanese domestic market looking, and it is considered to be not attractive. I think it's cool. You know, at 51st Dates, I don't know why I know that movie, but there was a FJ55 in that movie.
Okay,
It's the only
moving
reason I
on.
watched. Which generation? The 80.
Ooh, let's see. 80 series. Absolutely. You're good.
Name the stout. Name the stout 4.5 liter inline six. It's what's the name of it?
All right.
Hang on a second. What's the? Oh, yeah, the 1FCFE. It says it on my valve cover.
Okay.
Yes.
But it doesn't say it, but you don't say it. Your valve cover says it, but you don't know how to
My
say it.
valve cover says it. It's the 212 horsepower. Okay, match the Lexus LX to its Land Cruiser base. 80 series, 100 series, 200 series, 300 series.
All right.
Is
I had
that-
to stop. 80, 100, 200, 300. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. And in the Land, let me just ask you, in the Land Cruiser community, do you guys turn up your nose at the Lexus versions, or are they brothers in arms?
I think initially people probably did. And I guess if I had a choice of a Lexus version or a Toyota version, I would choose the Toyota version. But for me personally, it changed. I have a Lexus GX 460, and it's a Land Cruiser Prado. It has a wooden steering wheel. It's just as tough as a Prado, and we don't get the Prado in this country, so I didn't have a choice. The same goes for the 300 series. We don't have a Toyota version of the 300 series, so your only choice is the LX600.
All right. What does the 600 refer to?
You know, it used to be the displacement.
That's
Of
why
the
I'm
engine.
asking, because it just seems kind of odd.
Well, the 600 is now a twin turbo V6 hybrid.
Okay.
I don't know that that's true. I think I just made that up.
Is it a reference to January 6th?
No.
Next question. Okay.
Next. Which wagon generation first brought in the 100 series? But there was
Yeah.
also a 105 series that still had
Solid
a
front
straight
axle?
solid front axle.
Wow. Did the solid front axles drive as well as Jeeps with a solid front axle?
Yeah, which is to say, like, you know, they're rough. Like my 80 series has the solid front axle, and it drives like a truck, like truly drives like a truck, which I love. But I'm glad I don't have to drive it every day, and that I have other choices. Because after a while, or on a long road trip, you're like, okay, we get it. You're off-roady.
Yeah. Does anyone else in your family drive the 80 series, or is that just a John vehicle?
No, my wife will drive it. Like she'll take it local and stuff, and my daughter has her eye on it. She definitely wants to. She wants it as her first car, which I'm not sure we're going to do. But
Good for her.
yeah, she's vocal about it. There's that.
Yeah. My daughter drives that third generation 4Runner. That's her vehicle. She loves it. Everybody in the family actually likes it. So even my wife will park her Subaru sometimes and take the 4Runner. They're fun vehicles.
They are fun vehicles. They have a lot of personality, which is not something you can always say about Toyotas, but the 4Runners, the Land Cruisers, there's a lot of personality there.
Yeah. It almost seems like there are two divisions at Toyota where almost all the vehicles, I believe, are devoid of personality. And then there's some that have a super amount of personality. And I'm putting, Lexus and Toyota together, and you think of the LFA, and then you think of every other Lexus.
I think when you take away reliability as the most important thing, Toyota kind of lets its proverbial hair down, right? While reliability is super important on these vehicles, being tough is kind of more important. And I know reliability and toughness are kind of synonymous, but they're not. It's the 4Runner Land Cruiser, that full frame Toyota truck is supposed to be able to go through anything. And as a result, it really does have a lot of personality because it feels like a truck on the road, which is so refreshing after the homogenized SUVs that everybody drives.
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
Gay. Some people might just say they're gay.
Oh man,
Nothing as gay as a Honda Ridgeline, though.
No, but for most people, that's what a pickup truck should be. Not
I think
me.
I think for most people, a pickup truck should be a Ford Maverick or smaller.
Yeah, I agree with that. With great gas mileage, sure.
Sure. Are you ready for a couple more?
Yeah, let's go.
Next question.
Which Land Cruiser? The 70 series.
Really? Wow. So
Still being made. So 70 series. Started in 1984, and it's the only Land Cruiser, to my knowledge, that is still being produced in much the way it started in 1984. They are the toughest of the tough. They were built extra simple, extra reliable. They are like the hardest working Toyotas out there. They're made for third world countries. They're made for industrial applications, crank windows, and super simple electronics, because again, you're supposed to be able to work on them in the field. And
they're not sold here, are they?
they've never been sold here. Now you can get one after, what is it, 30 years?
25.
Is it 25? The 25-year rule? 25-year rule.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were never sold in this country, which is a shame. They're awesome.
You ready for one more question?
I'm ready for all the questions.
Well, what model?
What modern underpins the 300 and current 250? What modern platform underpins? It's the Toyota. It's a couple of initials, the TMZ or the TNGA.
Tinga.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yep. Which engine layout replaced the V8? It's got a V6. I believe it's a twin turbo. Maybe it's a hybrid, but it's
yeah.
You know, a lot has been said about switching from a traditional V8 or 6 over to a twin turbo 6. And I get it, right? Cars have to be more efficient. They have to be using less gas. However, the complexity that a twin turbo brings into the conversation makes a lot of people nervous. And frankly, it makes me a little nervous. I have a 150 series GX with a 300 horsepower V8. It is very understressed. I think it's going to run forever. It is about to hit 100,000 miles. It feels exactly the way it did when I drove it off the lot when it was new. Will the twin turbo have the same reputation and provide the same sort of reliability? It remains to be seen. But the other side of that, this is Toyota. They're not going to screw it up, right? They have way too much riding on their reputation to put out a product that is going to fail prematurely. I saw the recalls. I know what you're going to say.
I wasn't going to say that. I was going to let you say that. All right. We've got 3 more questions.
All right. I got 3 more answers. So the Land Cruiser, the U.S. Land Cruiser's got it's got a hybrid system in it, 4-cylinder plus an electric motor. Let's see if I'm right.
Yes.
So as a guy that owns a 2006 Highlander hybrid, that was the first SUV with the hybrid powertrain, I can tell you it ran for 200,000+ miles, and then finally something failed on it. The inverter actually failed, so that the battery was still working, but it wasn't talking to the motor, or the engine, I should say.
And was that a fatal error?
It is a fatal error. Toyota wants $11,000 to fix it, and that seems, on a car that's worth about $4,000, it's mint. Like, it is so clean and nice, but I'm not getting it fixed, and I'm not fixing it myself because I won't touch the hybrid system. So look, it's a 20-year-old truck or vehicle, the Highlander. So I'm sure in the ensuing 20 years, they have ironed out everything. We say this with 200,000 miles on the clock, that they finally ironed it out. Let's see a Land Rover do 200,000 miles without incident. It's not going to happen. But let's see. I haven't driven one of these either. I've been in plenty of them, but I haven't driven it myself. But I'm intrigued. I really like the new Land Cruiser. I think they did a great job. I think there was a little bit of backlash last year when it came out.
We're asking a small displacement to do a lot of work.
There's a lot of heavy lifting here, literally and figuratively, of this engine. So, we know historically when you have a small engine propelling a big heavy truck, bad things happen. I have to have faith in the Toyota engineers because of their track record. It's going to be great. It's going to be a long-term vehicle. It's got to be, right?
Yeah. When you gave up driving the Highlander, did you feel more masculine? Did you feel like a rush of testosterone coming back to your body?
was not the most masculine car. And at the time, if I could have gotten a GX 470, oh, I definitely would have. And really what I wanted was a 100 series Land Cruiser. I just couldn't touch them.
Excellent.
We got more questions. What do we got?
2 more.
Okay. True or false? Toyota began U.S. exports in 1958. I think that's true with the Toyo Pet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right and wrong.
I mean, kind of right and wrong.
Last question.
What factory option makes certain 80 series unicorns? The triple lock. The diff
Yeah.
lock. Yes. Mine doesn't have it. I don't have a triple locked. Also, at this age, if you're in a situation where you need the triple lockers, you're ruining your truck, man. Like, it's a 30-year-old truck. Get it out of there and go put a Jeep in that situation.
Our purpose today is to answer, what's the secret? How is this the longest running Toyota nameplate? John, what is your favorite series of the Land Cruiser and why?
So here's the thing, Stace, and this probably isn't going to answer your question the way you thought I was going to answer it. The thing that I love about the Land Cruiser over 70 years is the fact that I love everyone equally. I would take any Land Cruiser, maybe not the 20 series because they're so old and so archaic, but man, a 40 series Land Cruiser is amazing. It's iconic. We talked about that a little bit before. It's the one that you think of when you think of adventure. And the 60 series, which has the round headlights, and it's just a very classic looking, it's the Land Cruiser of my childhood. Love it. 80 series, I own it. I will never sell it because it just feels so good. Every time I get into it, I'm like, it's home. But getting into the more modern stuff, or even Prados, which when I was younger, I didn't want, they're a little lighter.
Why not? Why didn't you want them?
Because they were lighter duty. And so in my head, I was like, well, I don't want the light duty. I want the heavy duty. I want the one that's going to punish me. And then I bought the GX, which is a Prado, and it is so much easier to live with. It's a little smaller, so it's more maneuverable. My wife can drive it without thinking that, she's in the Amazon.
She's just navigating around the Amazon delivery guy.
That's right. That's right. And the Prado is very, it's what it does best. But every Land Cruiser, literally everyone ever made, up to the 250 series today, they're all fantastic vehicles, and I would be proud to own any one. And I think that's where the success of the Land Cruiser comes in. There's no Land Cruiser that you would look at and go, oh, that's the one where they dropped the ball. I can't think of another nameplate and certainly another model that has lasted this long where you don't have at least one, oh, they made a real mistake there.
Yeah.
There's none of that.
Did you know that there was another manufacturer who used Land Cruiser as a nameplate?
I do know this.
You do?
I do. The Studebaker.
Yeah. It ran for like 20 years.
Yes.
35 to 55.
So did you know, let's play this game for a second. Do you know what the J stands for in FJ? Right? The FJ40, the FJ80. Jeep. Yeah. How insulting is that? Like, Willys actually had to say to Toyota, like, hey, cut that out. Jeep is our name.
Yeah. I think we were dealing with a world's economy, global market kind of thing that was really different 70 years ago.
There's no doubt that things that were going on in Japan, I don't know what the Japanese are doing. Whatever, who cares?
Correct.
So, that's not true, obviously, today. But yeah, it's a global economy. It is a place where we know what's going on in Japan. We know the cars that they have in their market, the cars that we don't get.
We lust after them.
Oh, my goodness, because I can't get it. It's forbidden fruit. Do you know how bad I want a Suzuki Jimny, even though I'm the biggest Toyota fan ever? I want a Jimny so bad. They're so cool.
I know, a lot of us do. And so in the shame of it is that they're just over the southern border. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, one of my neighbors, distant neighbor, lives a couple streets over, but just bought a 98 Jimny, and it's parked in their driveway every day. And I'm like,
Wow.
I
Where
want
did
that
where
thing.
did he get it?
I haven't had a long conversation. I just drool and point, and so they don't really talk to me anymore.
Yeah. It's clean or is it all beat up?
No, very clean, very nice,
Okay.
very presentable. Anyway, it's the forbidden fruit of the things that we can't get, which includes a lot of Land Cruisers that didn't come to this market. It's not just the 70 series. We didn't get the 90 series Prado.
What makes the 90 series Prado special?
It was the first Prado. So there's that. That's not true. The 70 series Prado was the first one, but the 90 series kind of expanded upon it. But we
Okay.
didn't get it, and so that makes it cool. It's a little generic looking, and I think if they sold it here, we probably wouldn't give it a second thought. But the fact that we didn't get it,
Do you have any sense of how many Land Cruisers have been produced by Toyota? Like, I don't know the answer to this. This isn't a trivia question because I don't know.
yeah, same. I don't know either. That seems like something I should know, and I don't.
Millions and millions served. Sometime this weekend, oil that chair.
I know. Is it bad? It's bad. I got to fix it. Damn it.
That's
I'm
okay.
trying to sit still.
All right, it's time for Guess the Hammer. This is where John has to guess what a certain vehicle closed at. And since we're doing all Land Cruiser today, we've got 8 Land Cruiser auctions that ended recently. We're going to see how good or bad he does. Success, in my mind, is him getting within 10% of the actual close price. Doesn't matter if the vehicle actually closed or sold. We just want to talk about what the highest bid was at the end of the day.
Can I tell you why this is going to be really hard for me? Come on.
I have
You
some-
want to know.
I-
Let me start the excuse ball rolling now.
Okay,
Because I think Land Cruisers are worth $1 million because I love them. I love them.
and with that, all right, John, are you ready?
I was born ready, Stace. Let's go.
This is an 88 FJ 62.
Do you know what the difference between the 60 and the 62 is? Oh, doesn't matter. Clean. I love the stripes. Clean. It was the square, by the way. Okay. Oh, nice. Nice. Does it have its original engine? I think this sold for $38,250.
38,250, you say?
I do say. Wow.
49,500.
All right.
You are off by 20%.
It's interesting because with Land Cruisers, the things that make collector cars more valuable don't always make these more valuable. So original paint, people are like, oh, that's cool. But they're not necessarily like seeking out an original paint truck. And that one was super nice.
We want trucks that work, right? I mean, essentially, like for a lot of collector cars, we want something that's pristine and perfect and or completely original, and we're never going to drive it. I have a feeling that Land Cruiser guys are and gals are going to want to drive these things.
I think that the SUV / pickup truck market is hot because you can use them as cars, like as vehicles. You're right. You're not going to put your Land Cruiser in a garage and never drive it. You're going to go camping with it. You're going to do all the cool things with it. So maybe condition is not necessarily as paramount. That one clearly, yes. And it's
all right. You ready for another one?
I am so ready.
Go.
Okay. 1990. It's a 62 series, also super clean. A pinstripe gray, original wheels. I'm gonna get. Oh, it's super clean underneath too. I'm gonna say 35,000. Okay.
What's your guess?
I think it's 35,000.
Let's take a look. Oh.
Now, come on. How many miles were on it?
I don't know. We have to go back now. We have to go back to the video. Is that what you really want to do?
No, I guess not. I don't know if I'm gonna hit the red, yellow wire. Based on condition, it's very similar to the last one. The last one sold for 50. This one doesn't have stripes, so it sold for 14.
All right, ready for number 3?
Let's go. It's got to be better than number 2. But it is brown. All right, so we got a little leaky. Oh, I see some. All right.
Ooh.
136, which is super low. Man, I love the tack with the 4,000 RPM limit. Gosh, that thing looked a little rough. And based on my interactions with the last one, let's say that's a $9,000 Land Cruiser.
Whoa! Yeah, good job. You were close. 1 for 3.
Hey, if this was baseball, we'd
Yeah,
be playing a different game.
that's a great batting average. We're looking at number 4 right now.
Let's
You
go
need a
for
sip
number
of
4.
water? You breaking a sweat over there?
All right, a 72 Land Cruiser, a 40 series. All right, with some wagon wheels and some rust and some pinstripe and some crust and some house carpet and the inline 6. All right.
All right. What do
All
you think?
right.
What's your guess?
Oh, I think my guess is it's going to be 12,250.
14.5. Interior by
duct tape.
tape.
Now, that's a very strong number on a very rusty, crusty Land Cruiser. I'm not saying it's not warranted because
It's not criminal. It's not cool.
Not criminal, but somebody paid a lot of money for that thing.
Like if your neighbor bought that and he was this finance bro who wants to drive out for drinks with his friends, he's going to be thinking he's done something great, right?
There's no doubt he's going to think that's the greatest thing since sliced bread, when in actuality it's wholly like Wonder Bread.
Okay. You want to do another one?
Let's do another one. A 1980 40. Oh, with some mods. Scamods. A lot of mods, but a 2F. Oh gosh, this is hard. All right. It's
All right. What do you think?
47.5.
It looked like a nice vehicle, right?
It did. It looked like it was well restored and modified to the way people that don't really like these would modify it.
Oh,
47.5. I think it's gonna be higher. Oh,
yeah, still outside of 10%, but not that bad.
not that bad.
Nicer than a new one, I said.
Actually, I mean, it seems like there's more work in it than $42,000. So somebody bought it right. They just have poor taste. No, it's fine. It's nice.
Oh, let's not be mean. Round 6, baby.
Wow. Okay.
Go.
Ooh, okay. I see you. This is one of the ones we couldn't get. Oh, man. All right.
What do you think?
I think it's super clean. I think these are super cool. They're super boxy, and I think it's worth 37.
37, survey says. Boom.
Okay.
These are hard to do, right?
These are hard to do.
Yeah, clean history.
These are hard to do.
I've made the game more difficult. Next episode.
I enjoy the challenge. I am up for the challenge. But let me go back real quick. The difference between the first car and the second car, the one with the stripes that sold for $49.5 and the second one that sold for $14, it's really hard for people to get a bead on what they're worth if you're looking for one of these. So my only point here is you got to do your research. And what's one of the tools that you can do your research with?
Sports car market.
I mean, you can do sports car market. I know this site called Bidfinit.
Yeah, it's Bidfinit. Yeah, Bidfinit is one of our sponsors. Bidfinit is a fantasy auction platform where you look at real-time auctions from Bring a Trailer, Cars and Bids, and then you make your bids, fantasy bids, and you're not paying real money, but you can win. You can win real money. That's one of the places you can do. It doesn't look like you've been doing your research because you suck at this. You got 2 more to suck at. You want to do them?
Yeah, I'm going to redeem myself. Redemption here.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
All right. Prado. Man, I love these. That is clean and nice. It's got a tent on it.
I like this too.
Yeah. I wonder if this was done by Flexstream because and it's in the US. It's man. I'm going to say this one was 44,000. What?
That was in Hudson, New Hampshire.
Well, that's in the US. I've been there. All right, yeah. 30 grand. That's a deal. Like that thing was incredibly clean.
So here's what happened. John was good on one of them. He almost nailed it dollar for dollar. He had a couple where he was close, and he had a handful where he was bad. All right, so John just tried to predict some closed auctions. Now we're going to look at some upcoming auctions using the Bidfinit app. Bidfinit is a fantasy sports platform. It's geared toward gearheads like us and degenerates like John. What you do is you find real auctions that are happening on Bring a Trailer, Cars and Bids, Haggerty, everywhere. And you can make fantasy bids in real time with your friends or your nemesises, like in this case. So this is what the platform looks like. You can scroll through there, and every auction that exists, you can find it here. What we're going to do, though, is go over, see an event that I created. This one's called Ice Land Cruiser because John was in Iceland where he saw a ton of Land Cruisers, which we saw some photos of that. Here are 4 vehicles that we're guessing on, right? So we have got a 94 FJ80. We've got a 350 powered Land Cruiser, 89. We're looking at a 50,000 mile 2014 Landy and an 84 FJ60. Now you're going to see exactly how he and I put in our bids, and they end at various times. This one ends tomorrow. This guy ends later today. This one ends in a day, and this one ends, I think, on Monday or Tuesday. So you can see how we put in our bids. Current bid is $23,000. I think this thing lands at $38,500. John, what do you think it comes in at?
I'm hoping it goes for more because I have one of these. But in addition to that, it's super clean, super nice. Do I think my nearly $43,000 bid is strong? I do, but I'm a glass half full guy, so maybe it'll do it.
All right, you think I'm coming in closer? You think I'm going to win this one?
I think you are, but I'm going to stick, at least for now, with my $42,995 bid.
And how about this abomination?
I mean, I don't like, if you're talking about the most reliable vehicles on Earth, why would we switch the powertrain, is my opinion. But yeah, I don't think engine swap Land Cruisers get as much money as ones that are original. So I'm thinking it's coming in around 20. You sort of agree with that. You're a little stronger than I am.
I'm starting to regret that. Yeah, I think you're going to end up closer on this one. That's my guess. What about this baby? 50,000 miles.
Yeah, a 200 series, which honestly, I don't think they have a reputation for reliability the way the 100s or the 80s have them, but they're still stout and modern and wonderful vehicles. So as a result, you don't see a lot of 50,000 mile, 11-year-old Land Cruisers.
Right.
And it's going to bring a huge premium, right? Because if you really want a 200 series, this is probably the best of the best currently.
Yeah.
So
we came in strong.
Yeah, I think this is going to bring all the money because it still serves as a daily driver should you want, or if you want something to drive on the weekends, this also serves that purpose. So you're going to have a big audience, and as a result, you're going to have some strong money on it.
There's a growing trend about people picking up vehicles that have less technology, but more importantly, less connectivity. In 2013, 14, 15 were years where connectivity really started to come into play. I think as we progress in our world here, we're going to see people wanting vehicles to be comfortable daily drivers and have tech conveniences, but without the connectivity. So what would a Land Cruiser that was, let's say, 3 years old with 50,000 miles, what do you think that would sell for?
Great question. If we're looking at the last of the breed, we're looking at the 2021 Land Cruiser.
Yep.
They are selling for 6 figures or thereabouts. Because
what was the sticker on them?
About the same.
Okay.
They were in the 90s to low 100s, depending on what the dealer did with their pricing. And the issue is it's the last of the breed. They're just going to go up in value. So I think this is a car well bought, depending on what it closes at, because it's the same. It's a 200 series. It's got crazy low miles. Yeah. It really didn't change between 2014 and 2021. But the second you put a heritage emblem on the car, people are going berserk for them because it's the last of the breed. Yeah. So I think that a mid 50s, high 50s is not insane for this because it's half the price of the Heritage Edition.
And that's exactly what I thought. I was placing this, given that these have such a following, a loyal following, I was placing this as not a classic or vintage vehicle or a 11-year-old vehicle, but this is a used car, and not in a bad way. What I mean is, I'm going to cross shop this versus one that's than a 2021.
Yep, 100%. And so I think that's why you're seeing crazy resale values. Then the other part of this is for the people that are uncomfortable with the 250 series Land Cruiser, the one that just came out, because it's got a 4-cylinder and a hybrid electric motor on top of it. They're looking at these for a long-term driver as opposed to a new one. And a new one, depending on the options you get, can go anywhere from, you know, $60,000 to $80,000. So when you look at it under that lens, an 11-year-old 200 series seems like a bargain at $55,000. Presumably, that vehicle has been garaged its whole life.
Yeah.
No rust, very clean, right? 50,000 miles, we have to believe. And the pictures kind of show that it's that clean and nice.
Let's see the last one that you and I threw down our money on. So this was the 84 Land Cruiser. It was a 60. I love these guys. They look like the box that your bar of soap came in.
It does. They are so classic looking to me. It is worth noting, though, and I have driven a number of these, slow doesn't begin to cover it. They are Mercedes-Benz.
How slow is it?
Yeah, it's a Mercedes-Benz 240D automatic drag race between that and a Land Cruiser. And I don't know who's going to win. They are dog slow. They're not about being fast, but they are really, really slow, which is part of the charm, I guess. And they look so awesome. This one's a little tired.
Yeah.
This one's a little tired. It's not terrible, but it's a little tired. So I came in, 14.5. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I noticed you were doing a lot of 5s at the end of your prices.
So do you want to know the story behind that very quickly?
Oh, sure. Go ahead, Grandpa.
When I lived in Boston, so going back 20 plus years, on Saturdays, there was like cable access classified ads for cars. And there was this guy in Hooksett, New Hampshire. And I would watch this like Saturday mornings. And he would get to the end and he would be like, and the price is $13,995. And he would say every 5 with that same annoying emphasis. And 20 plus years later, when I'm doing a fantasy bid, in my head, every time it's $13,995.
What was the guy's name? Do you remember? Maybe we give him
God, I don't remember his name. I wish I did. 95.
All right, so we've got our bids locked in. Again, one ends today, a couple over the weekend, another one maybe on Tuesday. So we're going to see where we ended up, and we're going to get points. That's how Bidfinite works. And you can see, if we check the leaderboard, John is still beating me. Oh, so he's won 23 events. I've won 28. I've won more events than he has, but he has scored higher in the events that he's won than I have. And so that kind of sucks to be me at the moment, knowing that I really should have that crown. But
heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Yeah, so we'll check in, see our progress, how we did next week. We'll see how. We also do YouTube shorts almost every day. We pick cars that are closing that day, either on Bring a Trailer Cars and Bids or wherever. We make predictions in real time, and then we do a follow-up video to show how well or poorly we did. So follow us on YouTube, and you'll see those shorts.
I know everybody says this, but you have to like, share, and subscribe. We need to build a base here, so it would be wonderful if you could share this with your friends. If you know somebody that loves Land Cruisers or hates Land Cruisers, either way, and you want to write in the comments whether you think we're right, wrong, we're right.
Also, if I'm your preferred host, give us a thumbs up. If John is your preferred host, thumbs down this video.
No, thumbs up for everybody.
Everybody have a good weekend out there. It's Labor Day. Speed safely.
We'll see you soon.